They demolished my fence to expand their construction site, so I built them a barrier that stopped their entire project cold. My house on Maple Street has stood for 94 years, built by my great-grandfather in 1931. Behind it sat an empty commercial lot, overgrown and unused for decades. Then a company called Titanium Properties bought the land to build a massive 4-story development. Shops on the ground floor, luxury apartments above, and underground parking. When construction began, I met the site supervisor, Kyle Brennan. He wore his hard hat like a crown and said, "Expect noise and disruptions for the next 18 months. I told him that was fine as long as he respected my property line. He gave me a lazy thumbs up and walked off. 3 weeks later, I came home to find 40 feet of my fence completely gone. Excavators had torn it down so trucks could reach the dig site more easily. My garage wall was now exposed, and workers were using my yard as a shortcut. I found Kyle and demanded an explanation. Without looking up from his plans, he said, "We needed access for the equipment. We'll replace it when we're done." I told him that wasn't acceptable. He shrugged. "We're busy. If you want it fixed so bad, hire someone yourself." So I did. The cheapest quote was $2,800. I sent it to him, and he laughed. "We're improving the neighborhood," he said. "You should be grateful." When I threatened legal action, he smirked. "Go ahead. We've got lawyers on retainer." He said I'd back down, but by removing my fence, he'd given me a perfect view of his site. I could see exactly where his excavation stopped and where my property began. Every truck and excavator was trespassing across 6 feet of my land, so I made a different call. Within 48 hours, a new barrier went up. 8-foot-tall chain-link fencing with steel posts set in concrete, built exactly on the property line. That fence sliced straight through their access route. Kyle showed up furious. "This is an obstruction," he shouted. "Take it down." I showed him my property survey proving the fence was legal and entirely on my land. I also mentioned the security cameras now recording every inch of it. If he touched it again, I'd file charges for property destruction and trespassing. He switched tactics, first offering to pay for my old fence if I'd move the new one back 3 feet, then $5,000, then $8,000 and a brand new wooden fence later. I refused every offer. Without that access route, his entire plan collapsed. Trucks had to reroute through the front, deliveries slowed, and the project fell 6 weeks behind schedule. Titanium Properties investigated and discovered Kyle had demolished private property and used someone's land without permission. The delays were costing them over $15,000 a day. Kyle was fired. His replacement, a project manager named Maria, knocked on my door the next week. She was polite, professional, and apologetic, the opposite of Kyle. "I want to make things right," she said. "What would it take?" I told her I wanted my original cedar fence rebuilt exactly as it was, a row of evergreen trees planted for privacy, and a written guarantee that no construction activity would ever touch my property again. She agreed immediately. Within a week, the new cedar fence was up, stronger and cleaner than before. The project eventually finished 4 months late, and Titanium sued their insurance company to recover the losses, blaming Kyle's reckless decision. Now my fence stands stronger than ever. The trees are thriving, and my privacy is perfect. The building behind me is open, and Maria still stops by occasionally to check on the evergreens. Hit like, subscribe for strange property line justice stories.